You ever catch that kind of musty smell in your basement and wonder, is that just an old house thing or is it something worse? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the whole mold inspection process. And I'm going to show you the one technique that is an absolute non negotiable if you want to solve a mold problem for good. All right, let's get into it. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? That faint, earthy smell, and your mind just starts racing. What is really going on behind my walls? Look, it's a super common fear for homeowners and for a really good reason. So let's figure this out. Okay, here's the one thing that changes the entire game. We get so hung up on the mold itself, scrubbing it, painting over it, but that's just chasing the symptom. The real problem, the actual thing that allows mold to even exist, is always moisture. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to talk about the hidden side of mold. Then we'll get into the fun part, how to map the real culprit. We'll look at the high-tech toolkit inspectors use, really get why all this mapping is so important, and finally, I'll walk you through how to pick the right person for the job. So let's start with what you can actually see, right? That little patch of discoloration on the ceiling, maybe in a corner. It's so easy to think, okay, that's it, that's the whole problem. But 9 times out of 10, that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's a clue that there's a much bigger issue hiding just out of sight.
You know, it really comes down to simple science. No water, no mold, that's it. It just physically cannot grow. And what that means is if you want to get rid of a mold problem for good, you have to find and totally eliminate where that moisture is coming from. It's the only way to be sure it won't just come roaring back.
Okay, so if moisture is the real enemy here, how in the world do you find it when it's tucked away inside a wall or underneath your floorboards? You can't just knock on the wall and guess. No, you need a blueprint. You need a data-driven map that shows you exactly where the water is and where it's been. And this is exactly what the pros call moisture mapping. This is not just some quick look around. Nope, it's a full-on systematic investigation. An inspector uses all these specialized tools to actually measure and document the moisture levels in your walls, your floors, your ceilings, and they use that data to create a detailed, factual map of the water problem. For way too long, the old way was basically just guesswork. Someone would walk around, look for stains, and that was it. It was pretty much guaranteed to miss hidden problems. The smart way, the modern way, is a whole different ballgame. It's completely data-driven. It uses moisture mapping to give you measurable scientific facts that finally tell the full story of what's happening in your house. So, how do they actually do it? How do inspectors build this super detailed map? Well, they show up with an advanced toolkit with technology that literally lets them see what our eyes can't. It reveals the hidden pathways of moisture traveling right through the structure of your home. And this is some seriously cool tech we're talking about. They've got moisture meters that give them exact readings of wetness in drywall or wood, thermal cameras that can spot tiny temperature differences that scream hidden water. They use hygrometers to measure the actual humidity in the air. They even have these tiny flexible video borescopes to peek inside your walls without having to smash a huge hole in them. This isn't just looking, it's a proper investigation. And here's the thing, no single one of these tools tells the whole story. It's all about how they work together. It's like putting together a puzzle. The thermal camera might flag a suspicious cool spot. Then the moisture meter comes in and confirms, yep, that spot is definitely wet. And the hygrometer shows the humidity in that room is through the roof. See? Together, they build this complete, undeniable picture of the problem. So, okay, we've got this scientific map of the moisture, but what does that really mean for you, the homeowner? Why should you care? Let's break down the real-world benefits you get from an inspection that's actually driven by data. First, you find the actual source of the water, not just a random wet spot. Second, you catch all that hidden damage before it blows up into a massive wallet-destroying repair job. Third, and this is the big one, you get to fix the root cause so the mold can't just grow back in 6 months. And finally, you get the hard data, the actual proof you need to make a solid case for an insurance claim or in a real estate deal. So when is this kind of thing absolutely essential? Well, for sure after any known water event, like a pipe bursting or a leaky roof. But also if you've just got those nagging musty odors that won't go away, or the air just feels damp. And honestly, it is non-negotiable if you're buying a house or filing a water-related insurance claim. Which brings us to our last and maybe most important section. How do you actually choose the right professional? Knowing you need a moisture map is step one, but finding a qualified inspector you can trust, well, that's the key to getting it done right.
Now, you've got to remember, in a lot of places, the inspection industry isn't really regulated. That means the quality can be all over the place, from absolutely fantastic to, well, borderline useless. And that's why you have to be a smart consumer and know exactly what to look for. So here it is, your 4-point checklist. Number 1, are they certified and do they have real experience in building science? That's the study of how a house works as a system. 2, and this is so important, do they only do testing? A company that also sells the cleanup service has a massive conflict of interest, right? They want to find problems. 3, do they use an independent accredited lab for any samples they take? And 4, are you going to get a detailed report with pictures, all the data, and clear, easy-to-understand explanations? I'm going to say that second point again because it's so vital. When an inspector has zero financial stake in the repairs, their only job is to give you the cold, hard scientific truth. You can trust the results because they're not trying to sell you a 5-figure remediation job. They're just there to give you the facts.
So, what's the bottom line here? It's this. A real, proper mold inspection isn't some guy with a flashlight making an educated guess. No way. It's a methodical, scientific investigation that's designed to give you concrete, actionable data about the true health of your home. And that really just leaves us with one final thought. When it comes to the health of your home and the health of your family, do you really want to base your decisions on a guess? Or would you rather have a map based on facts? The choice you make there, well, it really does make all the difference.